Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz, and oh my god, I feel like now I'm uploading every month at this point in time, but that is going to change because now I no longer work 7 days a week. I took off the weekend, so now I have Saturdays and Sundays off, so you should be seeing more uploads with me. Today is currently Sunday, so I'm doing a bit of pre-filming, so this video probably won't go out until the third week of December, but I feel like it's still high, so you still have more time to watch the top 10 Christmas movies that I recommend. Now, I feel like these are all like PG-13, so you could watch them either by yourself or with children. These are movies that I, again, recommend that you can watch with your kids or by yourself, so it's not like daunting to be like, oh, Frozen another 30th time this week, you know? So anyways, let's get right into it. Okay, so the first movie I'm gonna get into is Jingle All the Way. Now, obviously, I feel like this movie should be renamed to Turbo Man because the amount of times they say Turbo Man in this movie, you would need your stomach pumped if you're taking a shot each time, okay? So anyways, pretty much this movie follows a father who is waiting literally the day before Christmas to try to get his son a well-known action figure. Within the movie, obviously, it doesn't really exist. This movie follows a father who is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger and the competition, which is the mailman, who is played by Sinbad. Moving on to number 2, Elf. So this follows a grown man who was raised by Santa's elves, and he's like, I don't fit in here, like this is weird, I'm 8 feet tall compared to these 3 feet tall elves. And then he's like, I'm going back to New York to find my father. So he finds his father, and he's like, I was raised by Santa's elves, and the father thinks he's like mentally insane, obviously. There was this whole meme created by this one scene in the movie where it's like they're in the mall and the guy's like, yeah, Santa's gonna be out in 5 minutes for like pictures and stuff, and then Will Ferrell's like, Santa, and he's just like screaming like, Santa's coming, like more excited than any of like the little 5-year-old children trying to take a picture with him, which is just hilarious. But anyways, moving on to movie recommendation number 3, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Obviously, we all know the iconic character that was created by Jim Carrey and like thousands of hours worth of prosthetic makeup, and the little character Cindy Lou with the crazy hairstyle. Do we have to speak about the Grinch? I don't think so. Moving on to number 4, Bad Mom Christmas. Again, one of those movies you could watch by yourself and just like relax as an adult and kind of relate to the moms. Basically, it's these moms, they gather together and they're like, we're fed up with Christmas, this is so stressful, the cooking, the cleaning, the planning, the presents, moms coming home for the holidays, and they're just like, you know what, F this, forget this, let's do whatever we want and not have to think about all Christmas as how stressful it can be. Moving on to number 5, A Medea's Christmas. Y'all, I love Tyler Perry, and I love when he becomes Medea. There's so many different movie series from, Medea and her starring roles in some movies. I've even watched some of the plays, but anyways, we're not here to talk about Medea and Tyler Perry. But basically, Medea's Christmas follows a mom surprising her daughter for the holidays, not knowing she's like engaged with an entire family. So there's one scene where the mom is like, there's no decorations around here, da da da. So she cuts down a tree, not knowing that it was her daughter's mother-in-law, obviously not knowing she even had a mother-in-law, because they're all pretending like he's just the help. But the mother of the daughter cuts down the tree, and then she like pulls it into the house, and like the mother-in-law of the daughter is like, where did you find that tree? And she's like, oh, I just cut it down from like outside. And they're like, did it have like a purple ribbon around it? And she's like, yeah, I just took it off. That was for a deceased loved one, Miss Mary. But yeah, so anyway, so it's like a drama comedy Christmas movie. Moving on to movie recommendation number 6, Home Alone. So basically, this family goes on vacation and they're like on the plane and they're like, yeah, I'm forgetting something. It was your child, your 8-year-old child. Obviously, with movies, there's going to be a nonsensical part about this where it's like, how do you forget your child? Like, what about the head count? What about the tickets? When you get on the plane, you're like, why do I have this extra ticket? But there's just, with certain movies, there's just like Don't think about this logically. Just follow with the storyline. It's fine. We're gonna pretend that like this is a reality that could often happen, right? Like, who else? You know, obviously I get like forgetting your child like in a store sometimes. Like, I get that. I'm not judging you moms. I get it. But like getting on an airplane and you're like on the airplane and then you're like, wait, I forgot my child. So anyways, so basically the boy sets up all these little traps to try to prevent the two guys breaking into his home, you know, from breaking into his home. The next movie recommendation is called Almost Christmas. The main storyline is basically that the father, who's played by Danny Glover, his name is like Walter in the movie, he lost his wife, so he's like, you know, it's Christmas, let me invite all the kids for the holidays. Now again, drama, Christmas movie mixed with a little bit of comedy. So moving on to recommendation number 8. Are we there yet? Now this specific movie is not specifically around like Christmas Day, but it's definitely around the month of December. So it's basically following this couple, newly couple, played by Ice Cube and Nia Long, and the woman has like 2 kids who are like completely against her dating and like tries to like spoil all her previous relationships. And Ice Cube come into the picture and he's trying to play it all cool and just trying to get along with the kids for the sake of the mother, obviously. So Ice Cube basically ends up in a scenario where he is traveling with the kids and bringing the kids to the mom because something related to work, y'all. Irregardless. Moving on to number 9, Deck the Halls. Basically, it's a giant piss contest, okay, but like family friendly. So basically, this family and the head of the household, played by Danny DeVito, moves in last minute, like a few days before Christmas or whatever have you. They move in and they have a scene where he's looking at like Google Maps pretty much, and they're like, you know, we can't see your house or whatever, and he gets the idea like he's gonna light up the entire house so you can see it from the moon, basically, which is pretty much a direct competition to the family right next to them, who's like the main guy that celebrates Christmas, or like, you know, the most well-known guy on the block. And mind you, again, nonsensical, let's just throw logic out the window. What about airplanes, my guy? I'm pretty sure there was some kind of scene in relation to that. I don't think so, but airplanes, my guy. Like, if you put one laser up in the sky, like, and you're having a whole lit up house, okay, last movie. Do we have any guesses? Spoiler, it has to do with the train. 3, 2, 1. Polar Express. That kid, y'all already know. That annoying little kid with the voice, I can't stand the man. And why did they draw that little girl looking like that? Like, why did they make her look so weird? Anyways, we're not gonna talk about it. So basically, it's a train. It's called Polar Express, and they pick up a bunch of kids throughout the house, and apparently it's like 5 minutes till Christmas, but like time is irrelevant and just slows down for the gap of like, I don't know, 3 hours, which is the length of the movie. I'm being dramatic, but it felt like 3 hours. And like the guy, which is voiced by Tom Hanks, and like even his features are pretty much similar. I don't know if they did the, you know, little dot thing and facial whatever, you know what I'm talking about, thing with Avatar. Basically, the conductor is voiced by Tom Hanks, and he picks up all the kids and they bring them to Santa, and towards the end of the movie it's this big magical moment where they meet Santa. Basically, yeah, those are all my top 10 recommended Christmas movies. Have fun rewatching them. And for the bonus film, obviously this is like rated R, I'm pretty sure. If you stuck around for this long, this is a Christmas horror movie, and it is called Black Christmas. It's basically a horror film around Christmas. A bunch of people are dying. There's a pretty gruesome scene where the guy killing everybody makes like cookies, but made out of humans. Yeah, so anyways, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, because you just make me say this. And yeah, bye.